Show us. That doesn't really work, does it? Have you tried? Oh, that's good. Oh, fantastic. Oh, fantastic. Better. So much better. What a fantastic, fantastic tune. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. They have everything for young men to enjoy. You can hang out with all the boys. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. Young man, there's no need to feel down. Young man, pick yourself off the ground. I've been Donald Trump. Thank you and good night.
And what size?
This one's from Jeremy in Wisconsin. And it says, Tuffy brand coffee is the best coffee in the world. Thanks for the grift.
Anyway, I'm going to find out who this quartering character is. And when I do, he's going to get a bit of the old ice troll treatment.
Went from loathing Brie Larson to being the unofficial #1 fan site for Brie Larson.
How about a handshake? You're gonna give me your jacket, your helmet, and your motorcycle, and in return, I'm gonna let you keep your hand.
Well, happy Veterans Day to all those who deserve it. Not us.
Yeah.
But Hannah Claire did survive the graphics card war of 2024. She was forever changed by it. I was, of course, a survivor of the meme war, the great meme war in 2016, but obviously not the same to those people who out there that actually served. So shout out
We're
to
veterans of
today.
internet stuff, but not of legitimate stuff.
Yeah, right. So shout out to real veterans out there. Also in the news, Melanie will be back next week, Tuesday. So she's done with all her stuff.
She finished her leadership camp, her outdoor leadership camp.
I feel like we should get, so you guys transitioned me when I went on vacation. I feel like we should come up with something for Melanie, while she was, just so we know, where she was, and we have to come up with
She
some.
better have a good story. I mean, like I said, I believe that she's been sent away on an outdoor retreat, a leadership camp, because you thought that as her stepdad, she wasn't really stepping up in the way you expected her to. But
that is true.
Maybe she has a different story. Maybe I don't think Melanie would transition. If chat has any leads on what Melanie's been up to, let us know.
Yeah, I definitely need to. I'm just looking at. I was trying to look at practice schedule at the track today, and I guess it's earlier than I expected. Sorry, multitask minute.
Are you going to go for a run? Are you starting your Olympic training? What do you mean, the track?
Yes, much in the way that a fat man does. I am beginning my track experience by standing on a elevated platform and holding a little remote control receiver and driving my little truck around.
Very nice.
So, yep. So I don't know. We'll see how Huck is doing. He had to go back to the vet this morning. Got a bunch of blood tests, which I feel somewhat like, okay, at least we're looking for something. But also, it's kind of a bummer because I won't hear anything till later in the week. You know,
is there something specific they're testing him for, or is it sort of like diagnostic?
I just asked him to do a full panel. You know, like Lyme's disease and everything else like that. He's about the same today. We went outside for a little bit together, but he's still pretty like,
not himself.
Right, Papa? Yeah, he's just laying on the floor. And then like at night, he just like comes back down to the office and like
he doesn't try to stay with you?
There. No, which is really rare. Like I'll call him back upstairs and he'll come up, but like is
your office like cooler or something? Is he too hot?
I think this is like his den, like his safe space. Like he's down here, he lays in the corner. He knows like he can see everything that's going on. So we'll see how he's doing tomorrow. We're going to continue cutting back some of his other meds. And I'm hoping it's just like a stomach bug, you know, I don't know.
How old is Huck? He's not that old, right?
Yeah, he's just 5.
He's a baby.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be it'll be interesting. Yeah. Trying to figure out everything that's going on. Didn't sleep well last night, but hoping I'm going to try to, there's not a lot going on today, so we can probably end a little early, and then I'll try to take him outside and get him fired up a little bit. And I gotta I have to produce a poop so he can get a poop sample, but he's not eating, so it's like hard to get. So I'm gonna have to take him around outside and hopefully I can get a poops from him and then go drop that off.
You guys
so
are
they can
pretty
test
dedicated.
everything.
Very sweet.
Yeah, well, it takes dedication to a urine sample too, which
I can't imagine how you would do that for a dog.
Well, it's pretty much exactly how you would imagine. You stick your hand into the line of fire and with a small collection plate, and
Huck can never question that you loved him. You know what I mean? That you love him currently.
Yeah, that's you get up in there, you get the pee, and I got that. That's easy enough because he pees all the time. But I gotta get that in there and see how they're going.
Do you have a lot of vets in your area?
I mean, define a lot. You know, I think in the Midwest, pets are like a big thing, so there's a lot of them. You know, like
I've always heard that there's like a national vet shortage, but I've never been able to totally guess if that's true or if that's like specific to like livestock or something else, like large animals.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that there probably is a vet shortage in the Midwest. Like, there's a lot of there's like a long wait unless you're kind of a
big deal on the internet.
No, well, if you're a big spender. Like, I have 5 cats and 3 dogs. Like, they make a lot of money off me, and I have no problem whatsoever reminding them that when I need to get in. That's like the one thing I'll pull rank. But I never say like on the internet. I'm just like, yo, I spend like $30,000. You know, like
the internet's not relevant there. You're like paying for your vet's like second house at that rate.
I'm like, I spend a lot of money. We do every test. We do every whatever. You know, so they generally get me in pretty quick. They've been pretty good about that. But if you're a new customer, you know, a lot of times you might sit for 3-4 days before you can get your dog in. So that's suboptimal. But yeah, Melanie will be back on Tuesday, back in a regular scheduled. There were a lot of conspiracy theories going on, but she just needed some time to get caught up IRL. I get that.
Did they think that Melanie had been poached by someone else?
I think they just thought I fired her.
No,
which
you can't fire the best part of Estrocast.
Well, I know it's kind of not Estrocast without her.
No, it's just me talking.
Yeah, Unclenic subscribed with Prime over on Twitch, so thank you very much for that. Joss is over there on Twitch too. Shout out to everyone on Rumble and YouTube. Yeah, so just letting you guys know, I'm going to dip a little early today just to take care of the dog. It's been a really freaking, like, the end of this year, like, transitioning my Amazon fulfillment or my Coffee Run Coffee fulfillment from my fulfillment center to Amazon. My wife's in and out of the hospital. My dog's sick. Like, this has been a brutal October, November. The Packers keep losing. So
that's just insult to injury. Like, you need a win and they're really letting you down.
Yeah, I just need one thing to like be okay. You know, like if you know my wife is better, then that would be good. My dog, I don't care.
I can
about
make
the
your day
sports
better.
thing, but
Everyone can go watch a video I'm gonna post today. Does that cheer you up, Jeremy?
yeah, what is it about?
I sent you this article. New York Times Magazine put out this article about a 68-year-old woman who like faked her husband's involvement in a surrogacy IVF deal so that she could have it was going to be her 14th, but it was twins, so 15
I remember that.
children.
Yeah.
And
she like got cut off or something like that, right? Like they were she was too old or something.
She got cut off. They had gone through IVF before. They had a bunch of naturally conceived children. It's kind of a crazy story, but like what gets me is like the legal status of the babies at the end is just like they don't have parents in the eyes of New York State, despite the fact that like this lady paid
they
for
do have parents.
Created their embryos, their genetic parents, and then they had a surrogate person carry them. Like somehow there are so many adults involved in this, and in the end, the kids are just like in foster care. So I just did a video on it because I think it's so interesting.
The state took them too.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Of course,
it's complicated, but like their surrogacy laws vary by state, and so in New York State, when it became clear that like her husband had no idea what was going on, she had faked his paperwork, she had like pretended to be him on a Zoom call. They terminated the parentage order, and there's a lot of legal back and forth. But like, so when the twins are born, I think she got one of the felony charges she's facing is kidnapping because she like to the hospital. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So
you just love how this stuff
if
works.
If you guys want to hear about it, it should be up at 4:30 today.
Yeah, shout out to the pun in chat. Someone said Jeremy's today is Veterinarians Day. That's true. I'm just hoping I can get a poop out of him and then I can take that in and then we can, get through tonight. I don't think he's getting any worse, which is at least something. Mm-hmm. Like get that in there and then hopefully tomorrow I can start to get some results back on stuff.
He's still,
so give me something to do.
Water and stuff. Like he's not getting dehydrated or something.
He's drinking water. Yeah.
Like, my cat at the end, it got like he wouldn't drink water. He wouldn't do any,
Yeah, that's generally not a good sign. But he's drinking water. He's not enthusiastically eating food, but he is eating food just to make dad happy. Like I'm just like, come on, man, give me a little something. Yeah, but he is not. So I'm afraid he's going to stop eating, and then that's generally when things are really, really not good. So,
I hope it turns out to be one of these stories where your vet is like, he actually just doesn't like the food you're giving him. Like every once in a while you hear these stories. It's like my cat or whatever was acting so crazily. I took it to the vet. Turns out the cat just like disliked that I had moved something. Like,
oh yeah. I
hope he's just giving you a hard time. There's nothing actually wrong.
Yeah, that's definitely not going to be how it works out. But I hope you. Like, I mean, I've gone through enough of like the preliminary like pet owner stuff to where I kind of can be like, all right, well, there's something wrong with them.
Yeah.
He's like getting his back legs tangled and like dragging his like he can't figure out how to get them untangled. So I just think he's really, really weak. But I'm all over it. Blood tests, full panel today. Get the piss sample in, get the poop sample in. And then just be on it and be on the vet to make sure I get my results. And then,
yeah, best of luck to Huck.
It's especially like normally he gets like superhuman strength because one of the girls is in heat right now. And normally he's like a maniac. And so then it's like, with that going on, he should be extra energized. So hopefully I'll get some results tomorrow. Artist says, I feel your pain, man. Not even kidding. Went through all that last year with the wife's autoimmunity and the passing of our first dog. Hope everything goes well and no more issues. Yeah, me too. Omega says, Ghetto Kitties will eat your cheese on Thanksgiving Day, even in their worst seasons. Lions really lose the Turkey Bowl. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The Packers suck, so I don't know if it's that big of a deal. I mean, should have won last night. Should have beat the Panthers. I'm not even thinking about the Lions. But here's something to cheer you up. Here's President Trump calling into the Pat McAfee show of all things, and creating a little bit of clip that's going.
Mr. President, have you ever done an ooh-rah to a bunch of Marines?
Not the kind that I just heard. I just heard a level of professionalism with the way they did it that I don't think anybody can match it, to be honest. That's very impressive.
Mr. President, why don't you drop one? Mr. President, why don't you drop an ooh-rah real quick?
I will. Oh. Hoorah!
Yes. Okay, we love everything about that. Mr. President.
I would be so nervous if I were Trump doing that. Like, the hoorah is so important to the Marines.
He did all right. He did respectably, Yeah. He had, 70-year-old man energy. It's good to see. There's a couple of topics I want to talk about today. First of all, there is the kind of this declaration of war by the Latin kings which is, of course, this is really dumb on their part, I would think. Like, if you're a gang, like, you don't really want to be poking the bear. They have now issued an order targeting federal agents in Chicago. I feel like if you're Chicago and you are trying to stop, federal troops from coming in, having an operating gang put out hits on federal employees, probably not going to work out in your favor. I don't see this working out good for them.
I don't get this. Are they supposed to be like the vigilante hero for the community? Like, is this
when they're not slinging drugs and shooting each other?
Right.
They are standing up for. I mean, I guess
they're
it's
fighting
because
for your people.
Yeah.
Who they're also probably exploiting.
Almost certainly. Yeah. It's actually bonkers to me that they would say this. Because you know how Trump's going to respond. He's like, fuck it, flood the streets now. Now we have a threat to our servicemen. Like, it's over.
Right, like, gang already causing harm in city now threatens federal agents. Oh, okay, cool. Like, I feel like they're just making his case for him as to why he should be able to send in National Guard or other reinforcements.
Yeah, Wolfman says, as a Marine, I believe the president did well on his oorah. So, all right, well, that's cool. Yeah, DHS spokesperson would not comment on the reported Latin Kings threat, but said our law enforcement is now facing an 8,000% increase in death threats against them. I mean, we had an illegal shooting at them in Chicago last week. I think this is probably not a good strategy. I mean, this is just going to give Trump the green light. He's just going to be like, yeah, okay, well, we're just going to send more in now.
It's also, I don't know if you saw this, it's a couple days old, but the mayor of Chicago, his solution to this is to go to the UN and be like, please, we are having human rights violations. Please come investigate. Like
that Pritzker, you mean?
What? No, it's the mayor of Chicago, Brandon.
Yeah.
Brandon Johnson.
Yeah. The guy with the difficult task of outperforming Lori Lightfoot.
Well, he's more to the left. So it's interesting that he's like, I want to skip federal authority and just go straight to the international community because we have human rights violations because ICE is here. But also this gang is now threatening federal agents and he seems to not care about that as much. Like,
it's all the craziest thing is like, it seems like a borderline seditious thing to do. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an expert on it, but it seems a little pretty close. But it's so frustrating because it's like all political theater at the expense of the safety of his own citizens. We see this in California. We see this with like basically the left and the right with the illegals. It's like, well, we're going to dump them on the front lawn at Martha's Vineyard. And like, everyone's like, ha, 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 ha. And I'm like, these are humans, like deport them fine. But like I agree with deporting them, but like, let's not use them for like political pawns, like for photo ops and stuff like that.
And like, yeah, it's kind of funny because I get the point of like,
it's funny. Yeah.
In other people's, you don't want them in the wealthy elite Martha's Vineyard, but ultimately those migrants ended up like base on Cape Cod.
Of course,
so, like,
they did.
you're still just like around. Like nobody got deported like that.
Yeah.
I don't think you should use them as props at all. But you also should definitely not just send them to Massachusetts. That that seems like a bad idea as well. That's doing what the Biden administration was already doing.
Yeah, I mean, there's 15,000 of these fucks in some military base in Wisconsin alone, and then like they poured another 10,000 of them into a college town where it's like an all-you-can-rape buffet for these guys. Like it is just, it is all very wild to me. But when you have like, this is one thing I wish the left and the right could agree on. Like this shit is dumb. Like, bro, you're literally taking the side of the gang. You're like. Yeah, the Latin Kings, one of the most violent gangs that have been operating in this country for the last 60 years. They have, areas of no-go zones in
impoverished communities.
Yeah, they deal drugs, they kill people, they rob stores, they do all this shit. That is who we're going to run headlines about saying like, yeah, take that, Drumpf. Like, why can we just be like, hey, gangs are bad. And like, we don't like, why wouldn't the mayor of the woke city be like, we're good, Latin Kings. Thanks to you, now Trump's going to have tanks rolling down Michigan Avenue because now you gave him a reason to.
I have to go to the international community because we're suffering here in Chicago because Trump wants to deport people who are violating federal law.
It's all, yeah, it's so performative and so dumb. Like, I'm just this is why I hate politics. And like, one of the things, about doing the show on Rumble is that I have to talk about more politics than I like to, because it's like, I think people forget that I hate them all. Like, I hate all politicians. I just happen to like Trump. And like, even Trump will open his mouth and say some stupid shit. Like we're going to talk about later today. Like, what would the universities do without 600,000 communist Chinese? Shut down? Fucking yes, please.
Maybe they should.
If they absolutely have to have, if a university requires importing spies and communists from foreign countries to survive, then they don't need to survive. And like, it's just like one of those brain dead, like Trump moments where it's like, bro, your base doesn't agree with you. Like, we don't want 600,000 Chinese fucks in this country. Like, nobody does. And, it's like somebody just said, Jeremy, that's why I like to get my news about politics from you. Yeah. With like, actually, let's go to that 600,000 Chinaman, because that was like, here's the interview I'll play. It's like 2 minutes. And it's like, Trump, dude, like, what are you doing? Like, if there's 600,000 Chinese in this country right now, deport them all. Like, all of them. That'd be a great move. And like, you open up 600,000 spots. And then it's like, Trump is all about the economy. Like, you don't have to be like an economist to understand what happens here. Like, college tuition is a product mostly of supply and demand that is artificially increased by government subsidies, whether it's through, federal student loan program or other stuff. If you fix the student loan program and you stop artificially increasing demand by importing millions of foreigners every year, then Americans might actually go to college for affordable rate instead of coming out of college. Like, you could fix all of these problems that we talk about. Oh my God, millennials get out of college and they have too much debt. Well, what if college costs $8,000 a year instead of $18,000 a year?
Right.
Like, you could work part-time and pay for school at the same time. And it's all a product of, like you've talked about before, like, our federal government needs these student loans. That's a big, like, that's
it
a
loves
big,
them.
Yes, it is.
It matters that Joe Biden was like, I'm going to forgive all kinds of student loans, even though I don't have the legal authority. I'm basically taking this money out of nowhere, pushing the debt more. And then also continue to issue student loans. Like, that should tell you everything you need to know. It keeps you on the hook. It made his, potentially young voters excited. Oh my gosh, Biden's going to forgive my student loan. But then the generation after him is still required to take them out to go to these overpriced universities that are not required to be innovative. They can either recruit foreign students who sometimes it's H-1B and they're there on scholarship, which I would be like, but don't we have Americans who need scholarships?
Well, yeah, or it's a backdoor way for them to get in the country and never leave too. Because
Yeah,
what percentage of them are
and
going back home?
It's like extreme wealth. Like for a lot of countries, China is one of them. Having an American degree is prestigious, and so they'll pay the full tuition, which universities are like, great, thank you so much. We'll have several of you come in. Like this is a bad system for all the American students who are then competing and also being asked to just like, I would say, hemorrhage their financial future through these loans. But again, I always point out the fact that Joe Biden kept saying, I'm trying to forgive student loans and they won't let me. But he kept issuing them, even though we know they're bad for the financial future of young Americans.
And it'd be a pretty simple solution. If you're a university that needs, 50,000 foreigners, then open up a location in India.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why don't you have a university in India? Well, because if they come here in America, they can probably get access to financial aid that isn't available to anybody else. There's probably federal programs for illegals to get, or for foreigners to get scholarships. There's all sorts of like bureaucracy and backdoor dealings that gets these people in here.
The like DEI incentive being like, look, we have so many diverse international.
Look how many
students.
Browns we have. Yeah. And it is. And then Trump's like, well, what would these universities do? It's like, I don't care if they burn down. Like, I don't think
will close. Like people forget that there are tons of small colleges that either merge with another college or close. Jason Kelsey's wife, she's blonde. I can't remember her name. Kylie. She gave a commencement speech at her alma mater the very last year it was open because
the place I went to college closed.
Look, it happens, and I'm sure that's hard for people who have an emotional attachment. Obviously, some employment stuff, but if you're a school that can't sustain itself and you're dependent on either bringing in foreign money or getting tons of help from the federal government, this is not good. Again, I know I say this all the time because you can artificially continue to raise the price of tuition and just rob American students.
Yeah, there's no incentive to be competitive on price because there's an endless foreign horde of people they can bring in to pretend to be at max capacity. So this was him talking with Laura Ingraham last night, I believe.
Folks are not thrilled about this idea of hundreds of thousands of foreign students in the United States. We have about 350,000 Chinese. One point during COVID, you were going to, push to, get them out, but that was pulled back. You've said as many as 600,000 Chinese students could come to the United States. Why, sir, is that a pro-MAGA position when so many Americans?
That's a good. I mean, give her credit for. That's like.
Yeah.
That's a hardline question.
She's picking up on something we've talked about, which is like this war over what MAGA means in a post-Donald Trump presidency. Like when he is no longer able to serve, what are MAGA trademark capital M positions? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Not this.
Kids
I would
want
think
to
so.
go to school, and there are places not for them, and these universities are getting rich off Chinese money.
Sure. Never said about China, but we do have a lot of people coming in from China. We always have. China and other countries. We also have a massive system of colleges and universities. And if we were to cut that in half, which perhaps makes some people happy, you would have half the colleges in the United States go out of business.
So?
She
Laura
just
Ingraham,
said so.
get him.
Laura Ingraham, yes. So exactly. He's making the auto bailout argument. Like, oh my God, we have all these auto people that can't survive. Was that during COVID or was it during the finance? No, it was during the recession, right? During the, it all blurs together for me. I have very
2008?
poor memory. Yeah, 2008, 2009, I think. It's like, well, what are we going to do? Not bail out GM? Fucking yes. Yes, that's what you did. Ford didn't take a bailout and they're fine. Like the idea is that like, that these things are just here and so therefore they should continue to be here,
Right.
is nonsense.
I think it is. I think one of the hard things is there is this belief that like what Trump is touching on is like, well, if we have more universities, and maybe I'm misinterpreting why he thinks it's good to have so many, more people can go to them. So therefore we want to keep lots and lots open. But that doesn't matter. Like you have probably like those tiny liberal arts colleges near you. I knew there were tons of them in New England where I grew up.
They're here.
That cost like $80,000 a year.
Yep.
And like if you want to go, I liked college. I liked learning.
I did too.
Great.
Yeah.
But it was, it's not an easily affordable thing. There are sacrifices made for it. And I'm sorry, I think that the college should have to have an incentive to be like, this is why we're better, either price point wise, what we can offer, whatever it is. It can't just be like, well, pay the bill and we'll see you on the other side. There has to be more to that. And in that sense, they have to be able to close if they are not operating in a way that draws in students.
Yeah, it's a false equivalency is not the correct. It's he's not making a fair comparison. He's like, well, if half the university closed, he's implying that like, well, suddenly half of Americans.
Expensive.
Yeah, it's
It'll
like
be more expensive if they closed.
It'll be more expensive, less opportunity. But how about if we got 5 million foreigners out of our college? I mean, 600,000 Chinese. Well, how many from India, Pakistan, all this stuff? It could be many millions. So maybe we only need half as many universities. Like,
right.
This idea that, well, we need our universities is part of the reason that this country's so fucked. Like, when I went to college, there was none of this. I went to a state school. There was not, I mean, I guess what would have been 2000. I went to community college or a satellite school from 2001 to 2003. And then I transferred to a state school. I never saw anything. So that would have been like 2003, 2004, 2005 in college. And then I did my master's degree, 2006, 2007. And I never got indoctrinated. I never had any teacher talking about woke nonsense. I never had any teacher talking about, any of this shit. But, maybe if I was not taking, I was getting my degree in accounting, maybe if I was taking more like other, arts classes instead of accounting classes and other stuff instead of business classes, I might have. But these universities, like, I remember after the campus protests, Missouri University, there was like these big articles, and then Evergreen College was another one. There were all these articles about like, oh my God, Evergreen's going to have to close because parents don't want to send their kids there anymore. If you Google it, or if you search engine it, there are like dozens of articles about like, oh my God, Mizzou closed another dormitory. Oh my God, Evergreen closed another dormitory. It's because parents are like, Mizzou were famous, so you had like that short little white lady who was like, I need some muscle. We need to get this guy out of here. Like, parents are like, I'm not sending my student to this school where this shit is going on. That's capitalism. That's how the system should work. And if Mizzou wants to hire activist teachers who are doing this shit, then they better hope that there's enough leftoids that want to send their kids there.
Right.
There isn't. And this is part of why the problem is persisting.
Right. Or you would need to make your college so affordable. Like if your goal is to get to the students, make your college so affordable that students aren't dependent on their parents or family help or like potentially loans to pay for it. Like you can't have it both ways. You're crazy expensive. You're not responding to the market. And also you're then like, but what? Like people are angry at some of the stuff that we're doing. It doesn't make any sense. But I mean, all that to say, I know we want to keep going with this video. I think the idea that like we should keep many colleges open because that will make it cheaper is obviously incorrect. Yeah, right. I mean, or that there's an actual demand. The demand is inflated. They're fudging the numbers with foreigners. Well, and enrollment from Americans is down across the board, except for in vocational trade schools. And, trade schools are up. Yeah, college at some levels. Yeah, which is interesting because it's like actually it's not worth it. That long time promise of college, I think, has really been punctured. So somebody in chat's like, I read chat, which is I probably shouldn't, but like someone's like, I'm so glad these two have experience running a college. Refute anything we said from a business. Make a business case that refutes anything we said. Like you don't have to have run a college. But I did. I worked for my college. I worked in the new student orientation. I worked with onboarding international and new students. And like, I will tell you that it's there is so much bureaucracy in college. I mean, famously, there's like a 3-to-1 ratio. There are typically more bureaucrats in the college than there are professors. And professors. Like, yeah. If we talk about this, the other route you can go down this, and I don't think we should right now because we want to talk about what Trump is saying, is like sports programs. Like, should you actually have D1 football programs that cost millions attached to colleges if the goal of the college is educational? If you make money from it, then yes. If not, then no.
right?
Right. Like it really depends on what you think you're achieving. But like the system as is not perfect. And much like DC, the administrative state of higher education has ballooned. So you can't tell me that it's like, no, they need all these things for the best of the students. I don't believe you. I know because I worked in one that there is often waste and mismanagement.
I went to Whitewater. We were a Division III school. Our team won the football championships every single year when I was there. 3 out of the 4 years I was there. Never went to a game once. Never once. Didn't give a shit about it at all. And there's no way that school is making money with their football program. You're in Division I, yeah, probably. Like if your games are on TV and stuff like that. But they had a multi-million-dollar football stadium, all that shit that I, a business student, had to subsidize and had zero fucking interest in it. How about instead of that, every student got a free laptop? That would have been a lot nicer. Or whatever the case is. Like there's a lot that goes on in these universities that just simply doesn't pay for itself. Why? Because they're all federally subsidized. Because they get to charge triple what they're worth, because federal student loans are actually what set the prices, essentially, and not demand, they charge whatever the fuck they want. And yes, I went to Whitewater, yeah. And they have this stuff like, if Whitewater had to justify their football program, and they just couldn't financially, there's no way. Nobody went to the games unless you were like a douchebag. You went, like if you were a freshman and you were living in the dorms, maybe you went to that shit. But like nobody went to that stuff. And and we were a good team. Like we were as good as it got in whatever our division was, in Division III.
Yeah.
And nobody cares.
Right. One of my favorite examples of this, and I remember from when I worked at the school, I went to SMU in Dallas, and it's a private college. I think this is often true for state schools too, but you were required to live on campus for the first 2 years.
That's how it is. That's how it is here too.
Okay. As a first year student, when you lived on campus, you also had to have the most expensive meal plan.
Yep.
Crazy that you're required to
what a coincidence
and pay for the most expensive meal plan. Like I suspect probably that is to help the university and not the student, like you can package it as like, oh,
we just want to make sure you get healthy food and that you're,
sure you always have access or whatever. It's adjustment, whatever. Like, I'm sorry, like that is obviously for the benefit of the school. Not like I said, I liked going to classes. I like school generally. I don't think we should get rid of every college ever, but if a college is not thriving, there might be a reason for that, and it could be managed better.
Well, also, so the whole reason I went to college my first 2 years at a satellite school. So where I live, there's state school, and then like in Wisconsin, there's like 3 big University of Wisconsin, maybe 4. One in Milwaukee, Madison, Green Bay, and like Whitewater. There's some like bigger ones like Eau Claire, but Whitewater was pretty big. But Milwaukee and Madison were the big ones. UW-Madison, obviously the biggest, and like they had the same rule. So I specifically chose to go to a satellite UW school for my first year because I'm like, that's stupid. First of all, I want my own apartment so I can smoke weed and like party. And second of all, like I don't want to shower with other dudes. Like I have no interest in dorm life. I dated a girl who was in college, and like I had to like sneak into her dorm and all this stuff. It was the dumbest shit ever. And I was like, I have no interest in that. But when I went to college, they still forced a meal plan on me. They're like, you have to have a meal plan. I'm like, I don't want it. I don't eat at school. I worked at Walmart 26.5 hours a week because that's as many as I legally could. And I brought my lunch with me because I couldn't afford, like the meal plan there was like, you could eat at the Subway on campus. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like good food. It was expensive, right. And it was really like a racket. Yeah, it was very expensive. It was $9 or $10 for a sandwich. And like I could bring one for $1.50. Like, it was crazy.
I knew a girl at my school who had like a very unusual, rare, like enzyme processing disorder. Basically, she had to be on a really restricted diet. Like she could eat like literally 3 things. And initially she was like, okay, so I don't want to pay for the meal plan because I can't eat
anything.
of these things.
Yeah.
Like I can't eat anything anyone else has prepared. I think she could eat like blueberries and red meat. Like it was crazy.
Yeah.
And the school was like, no. You pay for the meal plan and then you can meet with the nutritionist that all students are allowed to have access to through when they pay for the plan. She's like, no, I have a doctor. Like I know what my limits are. I don't need to meet with a nutritionist. I need to be able to make my own food.
Yeah.
And the school gave her a really hard time. I think she had to get like a note from her doctor and then meet with like an on-campus whatever health person. Like it was so stupid for this very clearly like cut and dry thing. She could not eat food that was mass prepared with potential cross-contamination. Like that's just it.
Yeah.
And they gave her a really hard time. They wanted her to pay for the meal plan.
Yeah, which is why, the same thing with the dormitories. Like if they didn't have this rule, there would be apartment complexes everywhere that would have to compete for student housing, and they would be awesome. Like you would have.
I could be wrong, but University of Texas at Austin, because it's such a big school, I think does have apartment complexes like that because it's such a big school. I don't remember all the details. I remember one girl telling me about it. It was like essentially private dorms, like they're apartments. They have like, more furniture or something when you're first living there. But yeah, it's like a whole economy that could exist in college places if we let them happen.
Well, and then the students would get better housing. You would have a whole apartment complexes, I guarantee, that would pop up. That would be like, this is the one where everyone goes and parties. Like they have the pool, they have this, they have that. Then there would be ones that probably like ban smoking and drinking. Like people that want to like have a quiet place to go and not whatever. Like you could have all sorts. Instead, you have to share a room with a stranger. And like, it was the craziest shit to me. Like I was working in computer repair at the time, my first years. So every fall, I was basically down at UWM all the time setting up computers for kids whose parents bought them a computer to go to college. Their room was like as big as my bedroom, and like 2 people lived in it. And I was like, oh, this is fucking awful. And I'm like, and then it's like $8,000 a year to live like that. Like it was like crazy.
Like this was weird to my like British relatives because in the UK, I don't know if it's true everywhere, but they were like, we all got our own rooms. Like they're not huge. It's not like you get like your own apartment, but like you didn't have to sleep like, in one of my rooms, I could like basically reach over and put my hand on my roommate's bed. Luckily, I knew her. We'd been going to school together for a couple of years, but like, imagine getting randomly assigned to someone that you're like, hello, stranger.
And you're 20 years old, 19, 20. Like, I mean, I heard in Whitewater, they had dorms. So you had like 8 or 9 guys in like the room, and like inevitably things would happen. Girls would come back, and like, it's just like a degenerate way of life. And they like charge to live that way. And it's just, anyway, we'll wrap up the college thing, but like, I didn't have a traditional college experience.
We're supposed to be complaining about foreign students, and meanwhile, we're like, this whole system's garbage.
Well, I'll tell you what, in my accounting classes, they were about 2/3 foreigners, like fresh off the boat, barely English foreigners. And, that were very clearly there on some sort of scholarship, and like, great, fine. But it got me thinking a lot even back then. I'm like, geez, I wonder if these classes would even be like, my wife she was like a high-level chemist. So she was in like some high-level chemistry class that had like 3 students in them and a full-time professor and lab. And it's like, does this class even need to exist?
Right. I mean, part of it is like, I want to believe in the importance of academia. And like, I think there are people who specialize. I would probably even grant you that there's maybe a foreign student that like, it could be nice to have them there on scholarship, provided they go home.
Right. They never do though.
I guess. But
no.
like to a certain extent, like maybe we should start specializing campuses, like I know you're talking about UW's like system. Maybe all of the chemistry students at, after their sophomore year, all go take specialized classes over in whatever campus over there, as opposed to running a full college that does everything all over the place, like little checkered scattered.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, that was another thing too. Like all my classes were in the business school building, but when I was first year when I was there, I had to take a few prereqs, like a few like the whatever, like everyone does this class.
Like gen
ed.
It
was like, yeah, because I didn't do it in like my underclassmen. I was running everywhere, all over campus, and I was like, this isn't efficient. Hold on, hold it down for just 1 second. I'll be right back.
Okay. Guys, I'm so sorry to derail from a Trump video into a nice little college tangent. And I hope it's clear. Like, I'm not against academia. I actually love education. I just think so often universities sell like a package, and they're like, send your kid here, refinance your house, come to this place, and we will give you your child all the opportunities in the world. And also there's a soft serve ice cream machine in the dining hall. And realistically, that's not necessarily enriching their education. And it's not necessarily opening any doors. I was really lucky. I felt grateful that I had the opportunity to go to the school that I did. I do think that there were lots of benefits to it. I even think there are benefits to like living in the dorms or living among people your age who are starting their life. Like lots of positive things can come from this. But realistically, I don't know that the bloated college system, the price tag it comes with, is actually something we should just accept, especially if it's subsidized with foreign leaders or whatever. You guys are probably sick of this topic. I wonder what else I could talk to you about. I would really like to know everyone's take on when you decorate for Christmas. I don't know if this is just because I had a baby this year or like something happened to my brain when I became a mother. But I am, for the first time in my life, feeling extremely tempted to decorate for Christmas before Thanksgiving. I believe that as Americans, it's important that we observe Thanksgiving. You know, if you're British, if you're from Australia and you want to decorate on November 1st, you don't have a major holidays in between. But I feel strongly that in order to keep Christmas special, keep it pure, and also to respect, that time we broke bread with the Native Americans, as I was taught in first grade, we have to observe Thanksgiving and not overshadow it with too much Christmas stuff. Now, arguably, maybe there's a little crossover. Maybe a Christmas tree doesn't look that bad next to a Thanksgiving table, but I've always had it been a hard line. The Christmas tree goes up the day after Thanksgiving, but just walk down the home goods aisle, it's got all those lights and decorations. Man, I sound real dumb today. What else could I talk to you about while Jeremy is away? I always feel bad when he does this because I feel like I should be able to just be like, here's news, we're carrying on. I was really interested in, let's see, what did I have pulled up for today? Or maybe I should read chat. Although I feel like it's not fair to read chat without Jeremy because actually you guys are trying to talk to him. The other one is what do we think is going to happen to Chuck Schumer? I would love to hear your thoughts on this because Chuck Schumer is such a part of the furniture there in the Senate, and he's been around for a little while. But it does seem like, yes, when the initial vote to sort of begin ending the government shutdown took place and those 8 more moderate Democrats broke with Schumer and voted for it, I thought that first day of outrage would sort of be like, you should get out of here. But it does seem like it's lingering. It's a lingering thought. I don't know who his heir apparent is. When Nancy Pelosi left her leadership position with the House Dems, it had been rumored that Hakeem Jeffries was sort of next in line to take over. And I am just not sure what comes after Chuck Schumer. If you guys have an idea, I would love to hear it. It doesn't really matter. I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon, but it's always curious to hear what the direction of the party will be, and largely because of the leadership. Okay, I'm going to pull up chat. I actually don't keep chat open while we're like, I have it accessible, but I don't tend to keep it open the whole time we're going just because I get distracted so easily. But Jeremy, you're back. I was about to start reading chat without you.
Oh boy, yeah, don't read chat. You can't handle that. You're not ready for that.
Well, part of it is like, I'm over here rambling, being like, so what do you guys think about this? I'm like, oh, I should probably see if they're responding to me.
Yeah, they are responding. Don't look.
Oh, cool.
Let's see. The other thing I wanted to talk about is pretty interesting. Looks like there's some... Oh, well, let's actually talk about this first. Do
you want to talk about the fact that Timothy Chalamet has reportedly broken up with Kylie Jenner following a Vogue diss?
I know. It's never going to be the same.
I felt that. I was sending you some articles today, and it's like all kind of heavy, like news stuff. And I was like,
yeah,
Tuesday's supposed to be a fun day. What are the celebrities doing? But they're having kind of a quiet time. Sorry,
yeah, today the news cycle in general today is a little slow. It's Veterans Day. Obviously, that's good. That's worth celebrating. But also that means that like people will hold stories for tomorrow while they do Veterans Day coverage and stuff like that. Lone Wolf says, what do you think of mandatory retirement after 70 for all senators and congressmen? I think that
against it, but
yeah, it's not an elegant solution, but there is a problem that I can't give you a better solution. Mm-hmm. Like I think what is the average age, do you think? Just guess before looking. I see you looking it up right now.
I'm not
average
looking at
age,
my hands are up. Look.
All right, average age of Congress.
I used to know this. I think the average age of the Senate is higher than the House. And I think it's like 68 for the Senate and 64 for the House. I could be wrong.
Let's look. Average age for Senate.
But I believe it's in the 60s. Because you have some outliers like Chuck Grassley's in his 90s.
64.7.
64.7 in House or Congress? Or House
Senate.
or Senate?
Yeah, Senate.
Ooh. What's House? Is House older? See, I nailed it with 64. I just thought it was
that was
House.
good. Yeah. The issue is no, I'm not interested in your stupid AI mode. 57 to 58. The House is younger. That's still too damn old. Like, I think that the big problem is so many of these lawmakers, they never have to live under the rules, the decisions that they make, and it creates a problem. If everybody was if everybody was in their 50s, I think that's probably okay. But the reason it's 50 is because you have a bunch of like 40-year-olds, 35, 40-year-olds, and then a bunch of 90 or 80-year-olds.
It's sort of awkward when it's like you'll read someone who's like they've been in Congress for 18 terms, so that's like most of if not all of their adult life. They maybe got elected in their 30s and then are at 74. This is the only career they've had.
I'd rather term limit. I think I'd rather term limit than a hard age limit.
I would wonder about that too, because what if you got like a really good senator who comes in at like 60, right? And they the high energy. There are a lot
let's say they're 70. Not all 70s are created the same. I mean, look at Donald Trump versus Joe Biden. You know, they're just totally different. It's at that age, there can be a very, very wide spectrum.
Yeah.
I think the term limit is a more elegant solution.
Yeah.
It's gonna. You get a great senator, well, great. They can serve 4 terms max. That's it. None of these, the world of Nancy Pelosi, that needs to go away.
Years, right? So that's a long time to get served 4.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, okay, then 3. I think any more than 10 years.
4 is bad, but you see what I'm saying? Like, if a president can serve 2 terms, if a House member can serve, let's say, what a House term is 2 years, 4 years?
2 years, I think.
They get to serve 5, so they get a decade. Like 4 years for Senate, that's a long time. Like, this is a good way to stagger the flow of everybody.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, you want to talk about Steven Crowder?
No, someone in chat said 8-year limit Congress, 12-year limit Senate. I would support that. I think
it doesn't seem crazy.
However it breaks out to the number of terms, I think 10 years is enough. Now, if you say, well, it breaks out to 12 or it breaks out to 8, fine. Either one's fine by me. I think that when you have these ensconced, like entrenched politicians, like Nancy Pelosi was never going to get voted out no matter what. I don't think that's good for America, and so at least she terms out and then we get someone else in there.
Right.
Like, at least you get some new blood in there. I think the Rosa Skeksis from Connecticut, is that someone who's old as hell? I don't know who that is.
Oh, look.
Skeksis. I don't know who that is. I don't live in Connecticut, so I'm going to give myself a break on that. Yeah, definitely. I think a term limit is extremely reasonable. But
DeLauro from Connecticut. She's the one who has like short black hair with the purple streaks.
Oh, that chick. Oh, yeah.
She's born in 1943.
Yeah. I mean, give me a break. Like, that woman, I want her deciding on like AI. Like, I like her opinion on AI is worse than irrelevant, or worse than good. Like, it's worse than bad. Like, it's just, she can't. There's no. Oh yeah, DeLauro. Yeah, it looks like Skeksis. Oh, okay. Yeah, they just typoed it or something. But
me too. I typo everything all the time.
Yeah, I think the problem is every American basically agrees with this, but we need Congress to vote on.
Congress to vote on themselves.
Yeah, that just, I don't know how you would ever get that done. I don't know. Like, that would never happen. I just don't think that would ever happen. I don't know what level of government would that have to happen at. Like, would they even have to vote on it? Could you do that at Supreme Court level? I'm not sure.
I don't think you could executive order to regulate the power of the legislative branch.
True.
I'm gonna go stop pretending to be a lawyer, and I'll ask a legal scholar maybe and get back to you guys.
Yeah. Max says, no, we can't let Nancy Pelosi leave. My portfolio is taking a huge hit. Well, you can still follow her trades. By the way, before we get into this 50-year mortgage thing that Hannah Claire just took out, a quick word from this video's sponsor. I believe we have Morgan & Morgan today. I think we basically have Morgan & Morgan.
I saw one of their billboards on the weekend. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's kind of a effect that, when you see the ads and you see them more. An accident or injured in any way, you should know how to protect your rights. That's why I'm so glad to have this video sponsor Morgan & Morgan. When you're seriously hurt, your injury could be worth millions of dollars. Morgan & Morgan doesn't settle for lowball offers. Just in the past couple of months, Morgan & Morgan saw verdicts of $12 million in Florida, 34 times the highest insurance offer, $26 million in Philadelphia, 40 times the highest insurance offer, and $6.8 million in New York, 25 times the highest insurance offer. Their fee is absolutely free unless you win. Fighting big companies takes a big law firm. As America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan are ready to take on insurance companies of all sizes. Morgan & Morgan has modernized the injury law process so you can submit a claim and communicate with your legal team all from your smartphone. And remember, size matters. Morgan & Morgan is big. They're America's largest injury law firm. That means they have the resources to fight to get you the best results, and they're capable of spending millions on a case to see it through. Did you know you can start a claim with America's largest injury law firm in just one click? It's so easy. You can start your claim now with Morgan & Morgan at www.forthepeople.com/quartering or click the link in the description down below. Also, a huge shout out to PDS Debt. Another important sponsor for the show. Debt from credit cards isn't an accident. It's a system built to keep every American down. The banks profit, the creditors win, and families lose. Every call, every fee, every high interest trap is another reminder that the game is rigged. But there's another side of the story. PDS Debt has already helped hundreds of thousands fight back, cutting debt, ending the calls, and putting money back where it belongs in Americans' pockets, not the banks. Whether you're struggling with credit cards, personal loans, or medical bills, PDS Debt has custom options to help get you out of debt. They go beyond the numbers, understand your unique financial situation, and craft a personalized plan designed just for you. There's no minimum credit score required. They're here to help you save more, pay off your debt faster, and start putting money back where it belongs in your pocket. PDS Debt is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, boasts thousands of 5-star reviews on Google, and holds a 5-star rating on Trustpilot. Why? Because PDS has helped hundreds of thousands of people get out of debt. So it's your money. It's your future. Don't let the system decide for you. You're only 30 seconds away from being debt-free. Get your free assessment and find the best option for you right now at pdsdebt.com/quartering. pdsdebt.com/quartering. That's pdsdebt.com/quartering. Links also in the description. I did want to talk about this 50-year mortgage that you took out.
Yeah,
I tried to tell her, boys, but she, she's a strong, independent woman. She didn't need no man, she said. And I have to listen to that. I can't be one of those people that, gets overly involved in their coworkers' lives. But
it seems like a lot of slander, my friend.
Well, I mean, look, I told you not to take it out. So another Trump boner from yesterday. This is what I've always said about Trump, and I'm not like a 400 IQ to know this about the man, but like he does a lot of great things, but like he also says a lot of stupid shit. Now, in his defense, he will often fix it or walk it back before he rolls out his bad ideas. Mm-hmm. The 50-year mortgage is dividing the internet. Essentially, what you're doing is you're saving a couple $100 a month on your mortgage payment, but you're adding 20 years of interest payments. Yeah, it's really an extension of you'll own nothing and be happy, because the first 25 years, I guess we could ask Grok. I wonder how many, like the first basically 30 years of that 50-year mortgage is going to be mostly interest. You're not going to really build any equity in your house unless, the market goes up. You take out a 50-year mortgage and your house devalues, you're really getting screwed. Let's see, interest payments per year on 50-year mortgage by percent. Because I wonder what it's like, principal versus
right.
Because I mean, on a standard 30-year, you're not, you're still paying mostly interest up front, like your principal payments. That's why I always try to pay. Well, now I can't afford to pay double, but we would always they say if you pay the 3 times a year, you get a third paycheck. If you just put that towards your mortgage, you'll cut 7 years off your mortgage. Why? Because that's straight principal. Like you're not paying anything, normally it's like 80% interest. I think the 50-year mortgage, I mean, I've seen some people, not very many people are as angry about it as I am, but like I sold cars for a long time and I was around when we rolled out the 72 and 84 month auto loan and I saw what that did. Like, let's be honest, like the only people taking out an 84 month auto loan is someone who couldn't afford the car, like who really shouldn't have been buying the car. There are a lot of people, like chat says, it's an overreaction. Don't take the terms. If you don't want that, everyone's screaming about affordability now. Won't wait a couple of years for the supply side stimulus to work. Yeah. I mean, again, I'm for a free market. So, I mean, sure, a 50-year mortgage can exist, but I know the type of person that's going to take it and they will not be building wealth with this. Like,
right.
They're people that shouldn't be buying a house in the first place. So annual interest payment on, what were we at? 6% interest. I bet you if you take a 50-year mortgage, it's gonna be like fucking 8 or 9%. So this is $7,100 of interest per year on, what do they say? A principal loan of only $100,000. So if it's $500,000, it's going to be 35 grand a year you're paying towards interest. I'm going to say like, can you rerun that chart with a $500,000 loan? Because you're not getting a house for 100 grand. It's not the 70s. And like, I don't think, I mean, look, it's fine that it says, someone says, I feel like a 50-year mortgage would just make houses more expensive.
That would be my instinct too.
Yes, it will make them more expensive because then they're just going to sell on payment, just like we did in the dealership. Like there's a letter of the law where I have to say, yes, it's obviously fine, for it to exist, but I know who's going to get this. The lower class and middle class people are going to sign up for this.
I don't feel like it's helping us build a bigger middle class.
No.
It just seems like you're putting more people into essentially a form of debt.
So it's 6% interest. You'd be paying 22 grand a year, and it'd be more than 6. It'd be probably 7 or 8 because it's 6% are the interest rates now. So let's say it's at 7, $26,000 a year goes to the bank. Who's a 50-year mortgage for, friends? Like,
I don't think it's for me, team.
It's not to help the middle class. It's not to make more people own houses. This is to butt fuck the middle class. Like someone in chat mentioned that, like I sold a lot of 84-month loans and they were literally always to poor black people. Nobody with any idea about how finance worked would ever take an 84-month loan. But I would go and I would say, oh, you want this Impala? Well, you have a 525 credit score. How much can you afford every month? $200. It's like, well, then you can't afford a car. But, well, guess what? We can have an 84-month loan and you can pay $210 a month or whatever the case was. And they would end up paying $40,000 for a $15,000 car, but they didn't care because like the worst financial decisions in your life will be made if you make decisions based on how much the payment is. Like this is the biggest trick that F&I people in car dealerships use. And when people sell you their house, if they're presenting you, well, just look how low the payment is, they're fucking you. Like that's not how this works. Blizzy says, so lose elections over the economy and get socialism, big win. I feel like Blizzy, you've been very aggressive this week. He's providing the option because everyone is polling super negative about the economy because of zero patience. I disagree. I don't think people are polling negative on the economy because of there's no 50-year mortgages. He's pulling negative,
patience, meaning like he believes it will get better and we just need to hang on.
Well, he thinks that in a few years supply will be there. there's going to be a housing market crash. Like when I got out of my house, I bought my house in Sussex, Wisconsin in 2000 and I don't know, 15, something like that, 2015 ish, for $363,000. I sold it in 2023 for $600K. The guy that bought that house, Indian foreigner who is working for GE Medical. So ha ha ha.
Oh man.
He's defaulting on that loan guaranteed. That house is now worth 600 grand. Like when I told my neighbor what I got for my house, he put his house up for sale. Like,
Really?
Yeah. He put his house up for sale and he moved into a rental. He's like, this is generational. I'm going to make 200 grand and I'll just wait and build a house. That's exactly what he did. Like the real estate market is so bonkers that like that there has to be a massive correction. And first of all, deporting 30 million illegals will help ease a lot of pressure on the rental market. A lot of homes are getting, put into the rental market with Airbnb. Also, chat perfectly points out in 5 years, the boomer mortality cliff, there's going to be a massive inventory site. And that's what my friend who's really good with his money that did that, that's what he told me. He said, all these people are going to die. I remember we were driving by these neighborhoods. It's all these McMansions.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, dude, everybody in this neighborhood is going to be dead in 10 years. You think these houses are going to be selling for $850,000? Fucking nope. They're going to be everywhere. And I'm telling you, he's going to be right. Like he's going to be right. The kid, there's people are going to die off, and there's going to be a massive spike in real estate inventory.
Yeah.
And the 50-year mortgage isn't going to fix that. Fine, have the product. The best I can do is use my platform and say, guys, please don't take a 50-year mortgage. Like this is very bad. And
it seems like it's so you get that lower payment. So someone whose goal or dream is to buy a house, like maybe makes a misstep. I can't think of a person where this would be beneficial. I'm not a financial advisor, so maybe there is someone who is like, but the 50-year mortgage is actually perfect for me for some reason. But it does seem like ultimately...
Well, if you believe that interest rates will come back down, you say, okay, it's fine, I'll refinance.
It costs to refinance, right? Like it's not like
much.
it's just like a simple process.
It used to be a bigger factor. I mean, it's like a lot of people do, if you refinance with the same bank, they'll get a kickback from the bank, so they won't charge you to refinance.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's like $1,000 or $2,000. It's not very much. In the grand scheme of things, if you can save anything more than a quarter point, it's usually worth it to refinance.
Yeah.
I'm locked in at like 2.8 or 2.9% of my house. I literally can't afford to move. Like there's no way.
Do you remember when interest rates were so low during COVID? I saw so many people who were like, we bought a house then that we thought was our like starter home, and now we have 3 children and we're just going to make it work because we cannot let go of this interest rate.
I can't. Right. That's what I'm saying. Like when I was looking at building an office on this property, the bank was like, well, we can do a HELOC because we have a good amount of equity, but that's at like 6%. I'm like, 6%? My loan's at 2.9%. They're like, well, yeah, but that's on the, I'm like, well, I'm not paying 6% on the loan. Like that's crazy. Blizzard says, it's fine for people that know what they're doing. Don't take a 50-year loan to buy a house. Take the savings and invest where you get a higher return to sell, refinance shorter terms. Yes, you're right. But nobody who's taking a 50-year mortgage has extra money. That's what I'm saying. You're not taking a 50-year mortgage because you're like, I want to pay down the house and I also want to invest in Bitcoin. You're taking a 50-year mortgage because you can only afford a $1,500 a month payment. That's how it's going to be sold. You're going to see the ads in the paper. Own your own home for $999 a month. And you won't own anything.
It's tapping into the same vein, that I think gets a lot of Americans into trouble with like credit card debt. I know we talk about this a lot, so I'm not
or refinancing or debt consolidation. That kind of
like
stuff, right?
I need this thing now, or I really want this thing now, or like with homes, it's hard because it's like, maybe if you get the 50-year mortgage, and so it's in a price range you can pay, and so then you can get into the better school district. Like maybe there are things that are making it feel.
I'll make a pro argument for it. Even if you're paying 99% interest, That's if I was selling these 50-year mortgages, this is what I would say to skeptical Hannah Claire. Hannah Claire, how much are you paying down on the principal of your apartment right now? 0%? Okay. Take out this 50-year mortgage. Yeah, it's only pays 3% off your principal every month, but you're getting nothing when you rent. That's how it'll be sold. And like, it's hard to refute that. Like, but I think ultimately this is a great product for banks. Like, they're going to be trying to talk people into the 50 years. They're not going to be like, there's a reason banks don't try to push 10-year mortgages. Right. Every time they have a longer term, that's what they push on people. It's because the longer the term, the more money they make. And this is a bank product, not a person product.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what like when we're talking about like waiting, the housing market will burst or whatever else. We're really competing against people's desires or needs. You know, it's hard for me to evaluate from an abstract point of view, like to get this thing now. So maybe you just really have to have this house. It's your dream house, and so you're going to get the 50-year mortgage, but you will end up paying a lot unless you have a plan to maybe pay it off early or something else. The same thing with credit card debt. Like, yeah, maybe you do need to pay for something immediately, but the interest will rack up over time if you're not aware of what it's doing to your finances.
Well, what's going to happen is people are going to get into the 50-year mortgage over the next 5 years. Inventory is going to explode. The value of the home they bought is going to plummet, and now they're going to be fucking upside down in a house that no one wants at an interest rate that they can't escape. It is no different than when dudes came into the dealership with their Chrysler 300M and they were like, hey, I want to trade this in an Impala. I'd be like, great, cool. How much do you want it? Or I'd be like, well, we'll give you $6,500 for your trade. How much do you want it? $17,000. Well, how the fuck do you owe so much? Well, I rolled a different loan and then another loan into this car. I'm like, well, you better you're not getting out of this car, homie. This is the car you have. Like, you can't, you fucked yourself. You beat the shit out of your car. It's all beat up. It smells like weed. And you rolled another loan into this car. You're stuck with it. Like, and like, that's what's going to happen to these mortgages. People are going to they're going to bankrupt out of these houses because they're going to go down in value. Home values can't keep going up like they do right now. Like, eventually supply is going to catch up. But it says, note also that I didn't say it was a good idea. I just understood options for whiners and the politics of quote affordability. Fair. Nuo says, if you pay your mortgage bi-weekly instead of monthly, you'll pay off your house quicker. Interest on loans is typically accrued every 15 days. Yes, that's also a great tip too. If you paid every 2 weeks and you can afford to, yeah. War Garble says, you don't invest while you have debt. That's a bad idea. Save money, get down to big payment, buy a house in 5 years, and boomer homes are on the market. Well, here's why. Let me give you an example. I invest when I have debt. My mortgage is at 2.9%. I have an online savings account with Discover Bank that pays me 4% per year. I am better off paying the bare minimum on my mortgage and keeping that money in the bank, earning 4.9% or whatever it is, and paying the 2.9% on my mortgage. But like, not many people have a mortgage like that. But in general, that's a good policy. Like, if you have a credit card with 18% interest, you shouldn't be fucking around just putting money aside in a 401k. You should pay off that credit card. Took a 30-year trying to pay off in 12 years. Yeah, I mean, if you like, we always would round up. Like, our last mortgage was $1,600, $1,623 a month. I would say just write 2,000, right? 2,000. And then like after 6 or 7 years, you're like, oh, I'm a lot further ahead on my mortgage than I actually, thought I would be. Jeremy would be a slumlord. I could be a slumlord.
I think this is where there's a lot of like, I wish that we just educated people on finances better. And sometimes it feels intentional that we don't send high schoolers out with a better education of loans and debt and credit card interest, right? It seems like we're making potential prey for nefarious organizations. Yeah.
War Garble says, the amortization on a 50-year loan for 10 years, you're paying interest only. Interest is front loaded. If you save for 5 years and get a 30-year, you pay interest for 5 years. There you go. I mean, that doesn't solve the petulant person, the impetuous person that absolutely has to have a house right now. But correct, you'd be far better off saving for 5 years while you live in an apartment and then, buying a 30-year mortgage and having a little bit of money to put down too. People also forget. What do you think is going to happen? How many people are going to have 10% to put down on these houses on a 50-year mortgage? Close to 0%. So they're also going to be paying PMI insurance on top of their loan, which is another, I don't know what the average percentage is right now, but it's a couple another percent you pay every month. You know, so the bank gives you the loan, but they're like, well, because you're extra risky, we're going to charge you another $200 a month. So it's all, yeah, no PMI. No, you're going to have PMI on a 50-year mortgage, 100% sure. No more, yeah, more down payment. Well, yeah, but nobody who's taking a 50-year mortgage is going to have 10% down. That's my point. 10% down on a $400,000 house. You think someone's got 40 G's in the bank is taking a 50-year mortgage? No. They're taking a 30-year mortgage and they're putting 40 grand down. Like, the only people taking a 50-year mortgage don't have the 10% down also. It's going to be extremely predatory. Yes, free market. People can decide. People can do what they want. Fine. It's 20% down. You're right. It's 20% down. So you need 80K down on a 400K house. You think someone who's going to take a 50-year mortgage has 80K in cash? Of course they don't. Of course they don't. They know that when they came up with the plan. And so now you can tack another, what is PMI? What is the average PMI right now? It's overall paper, 400 to 1. Oh, it's oversold in paper. Oh, you're talking about that. I don't know what it is. But I remember on my first house, we had PMI and it was like 1 or 2% or something like that. It was like another $100 a month or $150 a month, if I remember correctly. But like we got to the 10% as quick as we could. And then it was like, oh, sweet. We have, we got $150 more a month in our pocket that we don't have to pay. Right. I just had Penny Mac call me this morning to refinance my house. I asked the guy to a higher rate. No thanks, player. Click. I bought in a rural area and no down payment. Yeah. Yeah, they're 50-year mortgage plus UBI, you have to move. Yeah. It's going to be bad. I'm telling you, it's going to be bad. Millions will take it. Millions, and then millions will buy houses that they can't afford. Okay, PMI is 0.46% up to 1.5%. Well, what do you think it's going to be on a 50-year mortgage? It's going to be 1.5% because they're going to say you're ultra high risk.
This whole conversation just makes me want to go back to bartering. Like, unless you can trade me some livestock for your house, I'm uninterested, you know?
Yeah.
That's the ignorant answer. Like, you shouldn't live in fear of money and whatever. And there are ways to leverage debt and, whatever. But it all makes me so mad. 'Cause it's like, you have to, I don't know.
I get you. I wish I could have bought my house with oxen too. But we don't live in that world.
No, we don't. Much as I would like to be like, look, I've knitted you a scarf. Please give me groceries. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to talk about. Ooh, I think he's ready to go poop. I think he's ready. He's on gabapentin, which gives dogs the JPs too. And if you don't know what the JPs are, those are the juicy poops.
You're just humiliating him on the internet. So
look,
rude.
I gotta breathe it. Something's brewing. Yeah, it's brewing all right. The further into the 50s, you more likely will get refinance at a higher cost to you. Yeah, right. Is it? Yeah, the 50-year mortgage is going to be a fixed rate. Oh my God, I'm just thinking of this will be a 50-year ARM, isn't it? So you're going to get a 50-year adjustable rate mortgage. Oh my God, that's what they're going to do. They're going to do 50-year ARM with PMI. That's what you're going to see. You're going to see TikToks of black people getting out of the hood, buying a house, and then just getting butt fucked by Wells Fargo. 50-year mortgage, PMI, fucking adjustable rate mortgage. It'd just be, oh my God. It would be.
Telling you, bring back bartering. There's like, we got to stop this somewhere.
Yeah, generational debt. Yeah, holy shit, the 50-year ARM. Yeah. If I was like scummier, I'd be like I'm kind of low key getting excited about like the fake opportunity of selling 50-year ARMs to people. Like the rip on those, like the high risk loans paid us the most because like when you had someone who had shit credit come in, we would add like 3 points to their loan and they didn't give a fuck because they were just happy to get the loan, right? Mm-hmm. So they would go into finance at like 4%. We would get the loan approved at 4%, and they would go into finance and we'd say, "We got you approved." And they'd be so happy, be like, yeah, Nobody ever asked about the rate. So it's like, oh, well, 8%. So the dealership would take 4 points on the loan because now when I buy a car, I say, what's the interest rate? And then I call my local credit union. I figure out what my local one is. If somebody talks about talking to their local credit union, now you know that you can't fuck them in the box. Like you can't screw with them in the
This is a tip from
finance.
Jeremy. Immediately go local. Invoke your local credit union.
You should. Yeah. If you talk about a local credit union, they're going to give you the best rate possible because they still get a chunk of cash for getting the loan. So a dealership hooks you up with Wells Fargo. They're getting a kickback on that. So you can also use that to negotiate the price of your car. Fun fact. They might get $750 to $1,000 for securing the loan. So be like, well, I'll tell them you'll pay cash and then that you'll take $500 off. If they take $500 off, you'll finance it. They'll probably take that deal. And then they don't ever have to know that you weren't going to pay cash for it. Now you just skimmed another $500 at the very end. Wait till you've agreed on the price. No, don't do that. Then tell them that at the very end because they'll probably do it. I would, right? Dealership makes $250 still, and you're better off doing that. But there's a lot of ways. When you get that spray bed liner, don't pay more than $100 for that. We used to sell that for $850. Oh, you want the spray bed liner? Oh yeah, $850. I'd take it to Linex, it'd be like $75, and I got paid on that $700. I got commission for that.
Salesman, thriving in any condition.
I am very good at. I'm very good at sales. I've been in sales my whole life, basically.
Oh, it's good. Somebody has to be good at sales. The rest of us are too chicken.
I mean, I was good, but I was ethical, which is why I didn't I didn't crush it, but I did very well. Yeah, I did very well. Never buy a brand new car ever. That's not true. If you're somebody who likes to own new cars every 2 to 3 years, you should always lease. Too many people are too dumb about leases. You can get a 12,000 mile a year lease, and you will probably, if you pick the right car, it'll probably be worth more when you trade it in. Also, fun fact about leases. Just Jeremy's educational moment here.
I feel like I'm learning a lot. I'm going to start taking notes in a second.
So if you pick the right car to lease, okay, I'm talking like for a while it was like Honda Civics, anything by Audi usually was pretty good. You look at which cars have. So the way they calculate a lease is pretty simple. If you're paying $50,000 for the car, they say, well, it's going to be worth $35,000 when you trade it in 36 months. We're going to divide that over 36 months, and that's your payment. But what you do is you find a car that is holding its value really well. You don't actually have to return that vehicle to the dealership. Once you get close to the end of your lease, you could sell it to anyone you want. So what I've always done is, because I always wanted my wife in a newer car, I would lease a car that had good residual, meaning it held its value very well. Like, don't get a fucking beater car. Don't get a fucking, anything by Dodge. Stay away from Dodge. It's got to be foreign. It's got to be a Honda Civic. It's got to be.
You're going to food for slander in a second here.
Well, it's just the truth. And then I would sell it. I would put it up for sale on the open market. And the worst I ever did was selling it back to the dealership that I leased it for more than they scheduled to pay me. Because I was like, I'm going to sell it on the secondary market, have an offer for $18,000, and you're only giving me $16,000. And then they're like, okay, well, we'll give you $17,500, just bring it back. And I was like, fine. Mm-hmm. So you can always make money on the back end if you're smart. And so if you're somebody who likes a new car every 3 or 4 years, you should always be leasing. Because if you're buying new cars and trading them in, you're getting completely butt fucked. You're better off getting less butt fucked by a lease. That's if you're a new car person. You always want to have, I always need a new car. I always need, then you should be leasing. Because I had a lot of people who would buy new cars from me every 3 years. When I was in the dealership, I would tell them, I was like, bro, you should be leasing. Like, you just lost $8,000 on this Chevy Malibu, and you would have only lost $4,000 if you leased it. Like, I'd say, well, you're trading in after 2 years, 24 months. Your lease would have been $220 a month. Here you would have paid $4,800 to lease this car, and now you lost $8,000 to own it. So there's a lot you can learn there. Mr. Sauerkraut said, we did a similar deal as Jeremy a year ago. It works. Yep. Do your research. You're not going to maybe be able to get the perfect car you want, but there are cars that have better residual than others. Toyotas are good. Honda Civics are good. Audi is great. You can lease an Audi incredibly affordably, and Audi's a fucking nice car. You get like an A4, S4.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. Toyota. You don't need it to last if you're leasing it. I'm just talking about leases. I drive my cars until I can't fix them anymore, and years of no payment. Well, that's the best way. Yeah. Audi has expensive maintenance. Right. I'm talking about leasing, though. You don't have to pay for maintenance when you lease. Old Renaissance Nerd says, 50-year mortgage. I'll wait for Hannah Carter to get back. Landwell says, here's a story no one will believe. When I was about to retire from the military, no bank would loan me, although I could have bought in cash. Banks are a rake. Be disciplined, or be a disciple of Dave Ramsey's School of Finance. Yep, I ran into that all the time with military people. I ran into that all the time with military people because they didn't take out any debt. So they'd be what we would call a ghost. You know, they'd be 35 and they'd have 400 grand in the bank, and they'd have a regular job from the military, but they had nothing on their credit reports. And I couldn't ever get them a loan unless they put like 40% down. I'd be like, dude, I don't know what to tell you. I can't get you a loan. Like, you know. Let's see. We own 2 cars spaced 5 years apart. We get a 10-year-old and we sell it and buy a new one. Yeah, I mean, whatever you're into, you know. I'm just saying there are options out there. There are good options. Rumble says 50-year mortgage, do not redeem it. But you're talking about people who would make perpetual payments with interest for a phone. People, every loan without 20% down must pay PMI plus 1/12 of property tax too. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, the other chatter, who's a long time, very strong supporter of us, Blizzy, he's right. I'm fine with the product existing, but I know that it's going to be for poor people who are not financially literate. That's who it's going to get.
It's hard when you're like, this could exist, but I would not recommend you take it.
Yeah, that's my only position. That's the only position I can have. You know, I'm fine with it existing, but don't be a retard. Like that's all Papa Jeremy can tell you. The other thing I was going to talk about, I don't know if you saw this. Frickin' Kash Patel's girlfriend is suing people over a tweet.
I thought you were going to leave with this story. I didn't even send it to you because I was like, this is going to make Jeremy so mad.
Oh my God. First of all, I'm only really mad. Weird Robot says, can I get a 50-year loan on my delivered Chipotle? Well, dude, that's
coming soon, dude. Coming soon.
Well, no, I mean, remember there's a service that people are taking out payday loans to buy DoorDash.
That's what I'm saying.
Those are the same people that are going to have 50-year mortgage.
It's not good.
They don't understand the concept. And by the way, let me just be very clear for everyone in chat who may feel attacked. I didn't understand dick about finance until I was in my late 30s after making many horrible financial decisions. My credit was so bad on my first home, we had to do a stated income mortgage, which means like my wife could claim my income, but my name could not even be on the loan. And we had to pay a much higher rate because my credit was that bad. So we all make mistakes. I'm speaking from a place of
because you learned.
Yes, every one of these things I've learned about finance is because I've made the wrong decision. Like that's like I bought the brand new car every 3 years. Then I learned about leasing. You know, like I started working at a dealership, and I'm like, why aren't I leasing? And everybody that worked there was like, yeah, why aren't you leasing? You want a new car every 3 years, just fucking lease. And I'm like, oh yeah, that is kind of nice. I don't have to pay for any maintenance. I don't have to fuck around. If I'm lucky, I can get some money back at the end. If not, so what? I turn it in, I get another brand new car. You know, like so anyway, but I only learned that after taking out many loans on cars that I lost a lot of money on. Mm-hmm. So yeah, Kash Patel. First, we have that ridiculous tweet about his country music superstar sensation. Sensation. That I've never heard of, and nobody's ever heard of.
Have you looked her up? Have you listened to any of her music? I haven't yet.
No, I have not. It's on my list. Yeah.
We should do a reaction. That's mean.
Yeah. Hopefully she has some Christmas songs. We can double dip. It's almost time, Hannah Claire.
It is almost time. Thank you, Mariah Carey.
Yeah, it's almost time. And this year, you're going to watch 8-Bit Christmas, and you're going to watch, probably not The Fat Man. I don't think you like that. You don't strike me as a blind action movie fan. How about just 8-Bit Christmas?
Okay.
Although, I don't know, you're not old enough to remember the Nintendo Entertainment System era. It's still a wholesome...
I have, like, my brother's older than me. I have older cousins. Like, I've heard about Nintendo.
Yeah. It's like a modern retelling of a Christmas Story. So it's still good, even if you weren't like crazy about Nintendo. Yeah, Kash Patel, let's be clear, very obviously signed off on this lawsuit. Like his girlfriend doesn't file a lawsuit if he doesn't know about it. Like that's not happening.
What if she did? Are we about to hear they broke up?
Well, look, for people that think that she's some sort of honeypot, I mean, she's 20 years younger than him, way hotter than him. We're not exactly taking a crazy leap here.
She's 20 years younger than him? He's not that old.
Yes, he is. She's in her 20s and he's in his late 40s, isn't he?
He's late 40s?
Am I wrong?
I don't know. I'm looking it up now.
Yeah.
You keep going with summarizing this story. I'm gonna do some journalism.
Yeah. So she's suing.
He's 45. He was born in 1980.
I told you. Yeah.
I thought he was like 38.
Old. He's oldie foldy. He's even older than me. That tells you something. So somebody quote tweeted a tweet about a Mossad. Yeah, she's 26. He's 19 years older than him. He's 19 years older than her.
Bold. Why doesn't he marry her that? Like, I don't understand. Jeremy, I'm going to return to the major point.
Yeah.
His girlfriend, who he's been with for several years and is not married to, which is immediate red flag for me.
Yes, I agree.
Filing this lawsuit against Elijah Schaefer and I can't remember who else.
I don't know who that other guy is. Yeah, no disrespect. I just don't know who he is.
Yeah, definitely no disrespect at all. Because they were making fun of him on the internet.
They quote tweeted a tweet about a Mossad honeypot, added zero context, and they are suing him for $5 million because he implied it. He didn't even say it. They are saying he implied that she was a Mossad honeypot. And second of all, when you sue somebody for defamation, you have to prove damages. So what damages did she suffer from a quote tweet from a relatively small account? Now, I don't know if that original tweet went viral or something like that, but I'm just saying, look, I don't want to get sued. And by the way, I've got sympathy for his girlfriend. Like, I don't know her. She's got people saying wild shit about her on the internet.
Yeah, that's awful.
That sucks. Okay. I'm just saying, if you want people to think you're not a Mossad honeypot, maybe you don't sue them for $5 million for saying you're a Mossad honeypot. This is just PR representative Jeremy here. I'm saying you could have just ignored it.
Do you wish she had released a song called Honeypot instead? Because I kind of do.
Yeah, right. Well, it would have made headlines at least.
It would have been funny.
My brother, dude, you got yourself a crazy girl. Look, I'm going to be a little misogynistic here. Do you think it was her idea?
Or do you think he was like, you need to file this lawsuit?
I don't know, but I do know he knows about it and he's involved. For sure. Of course he does. You know what I mean? Like,
he can't not know about it. I mean, otherwise the relationship's very weird.
And he must also support it then. Because let me just put it this way. I can put it, I'm a public figure, you're a public figure. If either one of our non-public figure spouses were to get involved in some bullshit, right? And do something that made us look bad, because this makes him look bad. He's getting shredded for this. Like, if somebody said some heinous shit about my wife, I'd be like, look, I will deal with it.
Right.
If she went and filed a lawsuit and it was over a mean tweet, it would humiliate me. Like, I probably wouldn't care because of my wife and I would back it. But the internet would, you know what I mean? Would make fun of me mercilessly.
Yeah, there can be backlash for you.
Yeah, oh, look at Hannah Claire's beta cuck husband suing somebody for $5 million because somebody said he was, you know what I mean? There's no point of Kash Patel that was like, hey, I prefer you don't do this. You're already a country music star sensation. This guy doesn't even have the money. Like, when you're going to sue somebody for defamation, the first question you should ask. I said honeypot one too many times.
Yeah, I assume the first question you should ask is if they have the money. Pause to see if I glitch now.
Yeah, if they don't even have the money, what are you even doing? Like, you're just making a statement. That's about all you're doing.
She's making, I don't know her, and maybe she feels like she really has to do this. I assume if you're being called a Mossad honeypot, you are maybe getting a lot of other nasty messages. You don't feel safe, like whatever. I don't know that this was the best path forward. I don't think it makes her look sympathetic, and I don't know that it's like, are you going to get $5 million? I think you're just making this rumor worse. I don't think she shouldn't be able to defend herself from accusations, obviously, but like this did not seem like a good move.
And LawTube's raking her over the coals. Like, this is not a lawsuit she's going to win.
Right.
She's suing. It'd be one thing if it was actually defamatory and maybe, she lost sponsors or whatever. But we still have a First Amendment in this country. And whether or not Elijah Schaffer, whether or not she is a Mossad honeypot is actually irrelevant if Elijah Schaffer believes she's a honeypot.
Right.
She would have to prove he knowingly, there's actual malice there, that he knew she wasn't, and he said it anyway. Which, based on his tweets, I would argue he believes it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not illegal to be wrong. That's why so many people say, I think or I believe before they say something heinous,
Right.
But same thing if you're talking to a cop. Like if you're like, I think you're a piece of shit versus you're a piece of shit, it's like dealt with differently in the law. Or it's my opinion you're a piece of shit or something like that. I remember my dad taught me about that when I was young. I was like, well, I don't think I'll be calling cops pieces of shit.
He was like, I just want you to be prepared if you ever need to.
Well, the cops are harassing me because I grew up in an era of cruising. I know that's you're just a baby, but cruising was like a big deal. And, you'd go downtown West Bend, go around the circle, drive by, yell at girls, stuff like that. But cops would always hassle you. And
you're just trying to yell at girls. I don't understand.
Well, you just holler at them and then you pull over, you see a girl from high school, you're like, oh, hey, what's up? Can I touch your boob? That kind of stuff. But my dad would always say
that's cop's daughter. He's really mad about it. I get you.
Yeah, if it's a cop's daughter, fine. But I'll take my beating then. Because that I at least would respect. But hey, the girls were out there too. They weren't just happen to be driving by. They were out there to, catcall at the handsome young men like myself too. In my 1996 Ford Tempo with Sony Explode sound system.
Look, young people need activities. I get it,
Nothing wrong with cruising. Totally
it seems like there are worse things to do. I mean, I guess you could be driving recklessly, but
gas was like $1 a gallon. Didn't even matter. You cruise all night, have a Red Bull, yell at girls, whatever, hollering at girls. We need to go back. I know. We didn't need apps. You just drove around until you saw a pretty girl. And then you're like, meet me at the Dairy Queen.
Well, okay, we can't leave the Mossad honeypot topic completely. But I will say, all of the teenagers who only operate online or they slide into each other's DMs or they're Snapchatting, whatever, they're missing this key social skill of learning to approach someone you're interested in a public space. No wonder they're then stuck online all the time. They're literally not being forced to do it the way you had to. Or
my if you wanted to touch a boob, you had to go and talk to a girl you'd never talked to before. You couldn't chat her up online. You had to.
Okay. Mine is not necessarily romantic, but I remember in elementary school, if you want to call your best friend, you have to call their landline and say, hi, Mrs. Whoever. Can I talk to Jenna?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember I used to run up big phone bills talking to all the many girls. I have one fond memory. I used to date this girl named Sarah. I don't know why I remember her name, maybe because of this, but we used to talk on the phone for hours. And I know, cringe. But
it's so cute.
My mom, I didn't know that we had the same area code. So the phone didn't come up and say that it was long distance. She lived in the town. We went to the same high school. Or middle school, I mean. But for whatever reason, it was this thing called extended calling or something. And my parents got a phone bill one month.
You talk too much.
No, it was hundreds of dollars. The phone bill, my parents' phone bill was usually $15 a month. But it was because it was extended calling, it was 10 cents a minute or 5 cents a minute or something. And it was just, no, because it's not like you're checking it online, right? So they just got this bill and they're like, you're breaking up with that girl. Like, that was it. Like,
You're like, here is a package of stamps and some papers. Write some nice letters.
Yeah, that was about it. I had to pay him back too, but I didn't know, and I just thought it was because you didn't have to dial the 1. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't. I didn't know it was long distance.
Look, you were just trying to talk to a girl, and you're probably not old enough to drive around yelling at them yet.
No, that was eighth. I think 8th or 9th grade. I definitely, if I had my driver's license, like, I would have been over there for sure.
You just have to look at your parents and be like, look, do you want me to be able to talk to women or not? Because this is a long-term investment in me.
Yeah, I don't think at that age they would have. Yeah, I think at that age they said, no, get outside and like play football or do something else. You know,
like go study.
So my parents gave me a calling card when I was away in college, and I racked up a $300 call with my boyfriend. Definitely pissed my parents off. Yes, yeah, that'll happen.
Like, it's an emergency, and she was like, it was an emergency. I had to call him.
Yeah. Dark Side says lots of titty grabbing at cruising, LOL, at Los Angeles early 2000s, specifically with the Lakers having the three-peat. Yeah, well, I mean, you had LA is a little different cruising. When I was cruising, it was like there'd be like 2 cars with girls, and then you'd spend the whole night trying to time up passing them. So like there weren't a lot of options. So you're like, wait, let's park here. Okay, now pull out, and then you try to like catch them and holler at them. But
look, it's
that's how we spent our nights. Yeah, I definitely. Jeremy got the number off for late night call ad. No. We did when I was younger. When I was in high school, we did call those numbers from my friend's parents' phone, and they sat us all down and said that there was like a $90 bill. Fun thing, I also remember that there was. So you would call these numbers. I don't think we ever were able to talk to a girl. It was just like they make a joke where it's like on TV they talk super slow because it's like per minute. It'd be like X hours per minute, and it would just be recording after recording after recording. You never even got to a girl, and then we'd be like, "Oh, it's been 10 minutes. We better hang up." And then his parents brought us all in a room. We were like in high school because by then, and they were they were cool, and they were like, "Look, we're not going to tell your parents about this, but you little shits are going to pay us back." And they're like, and then they're like, they said that they got in a fight over it. They're like, we got in a fight over this, and it was one of you little bastards. So you owe us, and it was like $80. So all 3 of us split it and just paid it back. They're like, good. Now don't call them at your own houses or something like that.
Make your parents fight, not us.
Yeah. When I cruised, a back pocket handkerchief mattered. Well, that is a while ago. Yeah. Let's see. You snoring? HP snoring. Yeah, the honeypot story is dumb. This is another goofball Cash Patel move. He's getting shredded for it online. I have video coming out on it later, and I just like, I can't defend this. Like, at some point, like, again, you know me, I'm very estrocentric, but like I said in the video, like, at some point you gotta be like, listen, lady, you can't file this lawsuit. Like, you have to put your foot down and be like, this is going to be bad for my career.
Well,
I know you're a sensation.
Go back to like, are they getting married or what? Like, if his career is their main source of financial future, I'm sure she's a sensation superstar. It matters that like her actions have an impact on it. Like, to me, this is why he should have married her, because then she probably wouldn't have done this. Like, this is girlfriend status move because she's got to secure her own future.
Yep.
Not because she's a Mossad agent. I'm not saying that at all. But like,
we can't afford to get sued, Hannah Claire. She's not a Mossad agent. And Hannah Claire is only she's only a contracted worker for me. Listen, whatever your name is, she's only a contracted worker. She's not an actual employee here. So direct all of your Mossad alleged massage lawsuits or Mossad. I don't even know what Mossad is. She keeps saying it. I don't know.
In her corner, I'm saying that this 45-year-old man should propose. Like, I'm sorry, this is girls energy. Unless she doesn't want to marry him, that's fine. But maybe they should just break up, because it seems like it might be better for both their careers.
There's a good. I covered a story today. I thought would be good for your channel, where a woman is trying to sue her ex-boyfriend because she quote unquote wasted her baby birthing years, her best birthing years on him. And I'm like, bitch, like nobody was forcing you to stay with him. No. And like, so like, I covered it from that aspect. Like, first of all, you're crazy. Like, you're so delusional that you're like, I'm going to sue this guy.
Okay, but this
she
is
spent
interesting,
15 years
'cause,
with
like,
him. She should have left
15!
him.
Sorry, that's too loud.
No, it was no, but it auto levels anyway, so it didn't
thank
blow my ears out. But she was with him like 12 years or something like that. And I was like, girl, like you didn't put your foot down and say like put a ring on it. And then he's like, well, I'm 38.
Like,
I feel like I have another.
Was she like? But he said he would marry me because is that the violation of?
No, there's no. She said, "Oh, I gotta wait for HCB to come back." That was an unfortunate freeze face for her.
Oh no!
Now you're back now. That was an unfortunate one. No, he did not promise marriage. He told her at 38, he said, I feel like I have 10 more years to like enjoy my life before settling down.
Then
like biologically.
You don't want to have his babies, low IQ babies.
Yeah. Well, I'm like, girl, you had, first of all, if you date a guy, I have a friend who's been with a girl, they've been together for like 6 or 7 years. Even I've been like, guys, what are we doing here? Like
the time has come.
They finally got married like 2 or 3 years ago. And I probably think it was because I bullied him into it. Because I was like, what are you guys doing? You've been dating for 8 years? Like, it's not like one of you is a millionaire and you're worried about commingling funds. What are you doing? So like, I would say the same thing to this girl. I'd be more of a friend to her than Cash. I'm like, hey, he's not putting a ring on it. Move on. Yeah. Like, what are you doing? The guy's 45 years old.
And also, what are we doing?
Yeah, you're getting nothing out of it. You're getting all the heat, and you're 45. I waited 12 years to marry my husband. We have one child together. I'm not saying it can't work. I'm just saying if you're 20 in your 20s and you're dating somebody in their mid 40s.
And also, like,
what are you doing?
Did you start dating your husband when you were 15 and then you waited 12 years to get married? Like, fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Or if it's a second marriage, I also think that's fine. I mean, I dated my wife for 7 years before we got married, 8 years. But I mean, we started dating at 17. So like, it's a little
There's
different.
a whole bunch of time there that you couldn't get married and also probably shouldn't have gotten married.
I couldn't afford it. Yeah. Someone asked, are you doing your holiday gift boxes for Coffee Brand? Yes, but only 500. They're on the website.
Stockings?
Yeah, we are doing the stockings. I secured the stockings so that we're doing those too. 10-year age gap, max IMO. I don't want to nitpick at that, but I will say she's at the prime of her life and he's on the wrong side of 40. If he's not putting a ring on it, what is he even doing? Like, is he just banging some younger girl?
And like, again, for both of their careers, it seems like they are hurting one another's career.
Yeah.
You know, like she.
Oh, they got her again. They got her. We're talking about, we've said Mossad one too many times.
Just took us down.
I know. You keep saying Mossad. That's why.
I didn't say it. I said, I don't remember what I said. Not that time.
No, not that you said, yeah, country music star, superstar, worldwide,
I don't want to like
international sensation.
Hard on it, but it's also like, it does seem like this lawsuit was a bad move. And he is
unless there's actual damage, you know.
I don't think she has grounds, but the fact that it was filed, like, it's just creating so much drama for both of them. This can't be good.
Yeah, let me find the gift thing for you, dude. Let me find that. Yeah, it's not a good look for Cash. You know he signed off on it. So, like, what are you even doing, dude? Like, why are you letting this broad like embarrass you? You're the leader of the FBI. Like, the man in me is like, hey, get your woman in line. But then like the estro in me, the girl in me is like, hey, you know what? What is she even doing? You know, what is he even doing? Is he going to marry her or not? Maybe this is a give me some attention lawsuit.
It sounds insane, but like it does matter because it has this implication about what the seriousness of the relationship is. And also, like, if the accusation is that she's, you know, an agent, what kind of influence she has over him if this relationship is serious or not. Right now, it just seems like it's damaging the reputation. And then if you're like worried about her, potentially putting her in the lines of a lot of dangerous internet criticism that can sometimes escalate to be very threatening.
Yeah, and it could derail her country music career. So, I mean, like, I I don't want that to happen. Here, somebody asked about the gift boxes. I don't have the link isn't public yet, but you can get your pre-order in early. It's at coffeebrandcoffee.com/pages/gifting, but it's also in chat.
Ooh, this is
there's
like
only
a reward
500
for listening to the stream.
Yeah, I mean, to put it in perspective, for Mother's Day, we sold 5,000. So I'm only doing 500. So if you don't order it by, probably before Thanksgiving, you're not going to get one. And so we did the 12 days advent calendar, and then we did the gift box. And then we're also going to have the Kona coffee bundle later today, where it comes in a stocking, and it's Kona, and there's the gold spoon, and then there's peppermint bark in there too. But I'm only doing 500 of those too. Because me and Heather have to ship them. Heather and I have to ship them.
Oh, so, this is the quartering. It's a family-run business.
Yeah, I'm not trying to do 5,000 of them again. We just couldn't. There's just no way.
You have to enjoy your pre-Thanksgiving time too.
Yeah. Well, and she has surgery in like a week too, or 2 weeks, I think. So there's all that. But let the people know where they can find your content before we kick it over to Viva Fry.
Viva Fry and his curls?
All of them.
That's good.
No, you're supposed to tell the people where to find your content.
Oh my gosh, sorry. I think I stalled. I couldn't hear you.
Your video did freeze.
It's trying to suppress my career. I am not a YouTube sensation, but with your help, I can be a country music YouTube sensation. Except no music, just news and cultural analysis. Like I said, I have a video coming out at 4:30, so hang out with Viva for a little bit, then stop by my channel. It's Hannah Claire B on Rumble and YouTube. The story is about this crazy report about surrogacy. I think family dynamics in America are really important, so I hope you'll find this interesting. And yeah, so it's Hannah Claire B, Rumble, YouTube, also X. Thank you so much for watching me ramble when Jeremy got up today, and hopefully you'll come back tomorrow for another day of Quartercast Live.
Yeah, Luke will be here tomorrow, and Melanie Mack will be back next week. Get your holiday. Again, there's only going to be 500, period. I'm not doing any more. I don't care if they sell out in a week. That's it. So get yours at coffeebrandcoffee.com/pages/gifting. It should be on the homepage soon enough. I'm doing the banners right now. But yeah, go say hi to Viva, and then we'll be back tomorrow at 2 Eastern again. So hope to see you then. Until then, you guys will have a safe, happy night, and we'll see you soon.